Hello, and this is your astrology update for November 25th, 2025, and it's around 11:30 a.m. Central Time at the time of this recording. We have the moon and the sun in a lovely sextile to each other. The sun is in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. It's the expansion of the zodiac signs. It's also about truth and justice. And the moon in Aquarius is also about justice for humanity. So it meets humanitarian needs in mundane astrology. The sun is the supreme leader, and the moon is the represents the people. So in that sextile, it's positive. It's something moving together, and also the conjunction with the moon to Pluto is separating now, and that's deep secrets, deep things under the surface. And a conjunction is intense. So if you felt some emotion earlier this morning, it may have been that moon on the deep water sign of Scorpio, which Pluto rules Scorpio. So therefore, the sun was also sextile Pluto yesterday and into this morning. So we also have a grand water trine today with Venus and Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn and Jupiter are retrograde motion, and Venus is in the deep water sign of Scorpio that we were just speaking of, with Pluto being the ruler, and Saturn in Pisces, the flowing water sign of creativity. And Saturn is not quite as comfortable there because it loves structure and boundaries, and Pisces has no boundaries, so it can create on the higher realms. Jupiter is in Cancer. It is the more durable of the water signs as far as homeland. It's wanting that security and tradition of the home. So it wants to fight to protect the home as well. So with Venus talking with these other two in a lovely trine, it's a positive, slower moving aspect, not quite like a sextile. It's giving us that emotional support. It's also giving us the opportunity for spiritual enhancement, and it's also wanting to have that home secure. So you might feel like I just want to be home in some ways. And water signs are that's if you do have a lot of water in your chart, you need to cry. So this may be a good time to release some things that are in the underworld of your psyche. So we also have Mercury next to Venus. It's already separating, but Mercury was talking with Venus. Mercury's the messenger of the gods, and it's in retrograde motion as well. And it has been making that trine with Saturn and Jupiter, given that Mercury's in that Scorpio sun. So right now is still speaking of deep matters, deep truths, hidden the skeletons in the closet, and it's also wanting for healing, speaking to heal what's been underneath that surface. And so Mercury and Venus have been talking about maybe commodities, money, security, because Venus rules Libra, and that's the scales of justice and wanting to be in with partnerships with other people. And then it rules Taurus, the money sign. So it may have been talking about, the expenditure of things, especially over Thanksgiving, and prices are a little high right now. So, understatement. So, when we move into Wednesday, because I do want to get into what's going to happen on Thursday, we have Venus approaching its opposition to Uranus, and it will be peaking on Saturday. So, it will be over on Thanksgiving. So, be aware of Venus opposing the Uranus, this planet of sudden change out of the blue, didn't see coming in this land sign. It's an earth sign of Taurus. So Taurus again is ruled by Venus, and it's the commodities, it's trade, it's your security as far as resources that you need. And money. So Venus opposing that is causing tension in the opposition, a tug of war between that security and money in Scorpio, which rules other people's money and investments and inheritance and returns on things of investments. And it's in a shocking planet, in the view of a shocking planet of Uranus, rebellion for freedom. Uranus feels a little bit stuck in Taurus because it likes to have that air. It rules Aquarius, and Uranus is about technology and air travel. So just notice there might be some price hikes or, unexpected, things you may have to pay for travel, and be aware of that. Definitely leave earlier than you would normally, especially at this time at the airports. And so I think other than that, we have that um, Mercury in that sort of opposition, but it's a long shot there. So to Uranus. But I think we're gonna have a pretty good Thanksgiving as long as you can understand the tension with that, the Venus and Uranus. And then also the moon will square Mercury that day. And well, Mercury will be more Wednesday. So we have the people getting irritated with the messages, communications, gadgets and things of communication, and also short distance travel. So the moon might cause a little bit of angst on Wednesday and going into Thursday. And then Venus will be squared by the moon, and that doesn't last too long. So you just have, by the afternoon, you'll be okay, or in the early evening. So enjoy, happy Thanksgiving, enjoy the trine, enjoy that sextile that's happening today and tomorrow with the moon and the sun. And that sun is waning with the Pluto sextile. So it's time for healing, time for speaking your truth, and because that sun is Sag, and Mars is also in Sagittarius. So we have a lot of things that want to be said, and just watch what you want, because if you say something at Thanksgiving, as we all be around family and people, just know, is that the battle you want to fight? So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next astrology update on MalloryKeyAstrology.com. Bye-bye.